Fashion and technology are meeting in Vogue's new offering, the Vogue Stylist. For readers of the Fashion Bible who want to keep tabs on the latest look, there is now, in fact, an app for that. And here to talk about that digital strategy is Vogue's new publisher, Susan Plagemann. Susan, thank you so much for coming on. I love this idea. This is an app that's available on Apple technology.
Correct.
For you to download for free at this point, and it can actually, like, you can upload items from your closet and match it with trends coming out of the magazine?
Correct. The whole goal of the app was basically to be able to extend to our readers the whole idea of shopping and styling from the magazines. So each and every month the app does two functions. First and foremost, it styles. So it offers you 5 different trends in terms of what's happening in the market for that season. So it could be the trench, it could be the floaty dress, it could be tribal, the statement sandal, to the naturals, as well as 2 beauty trends. And once you've had the opportunity to peruse the app and look at all the different advertisers and the different styles, you can pick that trend, and then you can marry that trend with the different items that are in the app.
So it's picking from the advertisers' offerings, like the specific trends here. What has been the response from advertisers at this point? I would imagine this new platform is allowing you to sell in a different way.
It is, because it allows advertisers and marketers the opportunity to extend their message beyond just the pages of Vogue into an area where also their readers, our readers, and their consumers interact. We had over 91 participants with the launch in March, and to date we've had 3 times the national average in terms of number of downloads.
I saw 75,000 downloads in 3 weeks.
Yeah, which is really, really exciting. And I think that has everything to do with the strength of the brand, and also everything to do with just the execution of the app.
And it brings you that much closer to the transaction? I mean, you can actually click through to the purchase from the page.
You can. The beautiful thing about it is you can actually shop directly on the app. So you may see a statement sandal that you fell in love with, and you go to Neiman's.com and you purchase it. And then rather than leaving the application, you just hit done in the upper left-hand corner, and you're back to continue on shopping.
Wow. So, now this is part of the digital strategy that you've got here, because you're also putting Vogue on the iPad that's coming out April 3rd.
Yes. Well, I can't speak specifically to when Vogue will launch on the iPad, but what I can say is that launch of the Vogue Stylist has been an ongoing strategy for the brand for several years. We put up Shop Vogue, then we did Vogue TV, and this is just a continuation, really, of that great crescendo of keeping our brand current and in the forefront in terms of technology.
So you would be moving the Stylist to the iPad, or putting the actual content of the magazine on there?
Like I said, I can't really speak to what we're doing with the iPad yet. Our biggest focus right now has been the launch of the Vogue Stylist, the app, and in addition to that, come September, our next really big news in terms of the overall brand is the relaunch of Vogue.com.
So is it going to remain free?
The Vogue Stylist?
Yes.
For now, yes.
For now? Well,
what
would make you decide to, or consider, pay for content?
I think as, you know, one of the things, if you look at all the variety of different apps, I think it's all about the content. So I think you could anticipate, as we make the content more and more robust, that's when we would look at switching the model from being a free app to a paid app.
How do you decide to edit what you're putting on the Stylist? Is it a different decision than what you put in the handheld glossy?
Well, I don't control what goes in the handheld glossy in terms of the editorial content. I just control what goes in terms of the advertising.
But that's got to factor into the strategy, because that is your product, right? The editorial collection.
But the Vogue Stylist is all completely a marketing-driven tool.
Okay.
So it just feeds off of the trends that we see that are directed from editorial, but in fact, everything in it is all advertiser-focused.
So what's the next step? I mean, I know you can't talk about the iPad, but how do you see this growing for you?
Well, I think I think that technology is, moving fast and furious, and I think the great thing in terms of what Vogue has done as a brand is we really try to stay at the forefront of that. And I think launching the Vogue Stylist with the success that we have is a step in the right direction. I think the launch of Vogue.com is going to be something also that is much anticipated in terms of the marketplace, and we'll go from there.
So how did you decide to work with Apple on this?
I think first and foremost because if you're really going to launch an app from a business perspective, you got to have it so you can download it on iTunes.
All right.
So that was a motivation.
All right. Thank you so much,
Thank
Susan.
you. Thank you very
Vogue's
much.
publisher, Susan Plagemann.